What's up, everybody? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
Hello, hello.
Producer Josh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
And Ryan from Miami.
I am joining you live from the Omni Hotel in the Boston Seaport. And as promised, Fireball. Fireball. Let's go, Heat.
I love that the whole idea of blurring out the background is that you can't see where someone is, and he just totally admitted it within like 5 seconds of the podcast.
Thank goodness I'll post it until after he's gone from there.
By the time this is out, I will be on the team plane headed home to St. Pete. So,
all right,
raise up. Let's go, Heat.
Raise up. Is that what?
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get that. That's their saying, because I get the play on words, the RAYS instead of RAISC. Yeah. All right.
I don't make it. I just do it.
Yeah. It's just autopilot now. Yes, we will definitely get into that. I'm glad that you are giving us a healthy serving of Pitbull today.
I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
You know what I would feel good with? Do you know what the poll for last week is, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Polls are really important.
Why don't you just have it pulled up when you sit down to start the podcast?
This is like 2 months.
It's really easy
I
to
can already
vote
tell
in the
you
poll.
who
You
won.
need to go.
I know. I looked at it. I can tell you.
All right, so which one shocks you the most? These are TV shows that each of the Quad members hasn't seen. It's the poll, which you can vote on at the Quad with CY on Twitter. And at 39.9%, Seinfeld. Yes, I still have not seen Seinfeld.
Wow.
Is the most shocking one. However, Lost came in second at 31.4%.
You've never seen not even a clip of like Soup Nazi. You've never said no soup for you.
I've seen the meme. I've heard people send it, but I've never watched an episode of Seinfeld. You have to have watched an episode of the series. I've never watched an episode of Seinfeld.
He's not wrong. Like, I know what the show Lost looks like.
I know it's on an island.
That's my thing. Like, if someone put an episode on within the first 5 minutes, I would be able to go, oh, I guess this is Lost, because I haven't ever seen it.
Just have a hard time believing one of the longest running
By the way,
series of all time.
Have to point out some collusion, because apparently the Quad with Chris Young Twitter account voted in this poll and voted for Lost. I don't know who did that, but I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
You just out yourself.
Aren't you the owner and operator of said account?
Time out.
Did you click on the wrong one? Did you forget which one you picked?
Wow.
Was it right next to Seinfeld?
If there's ever one of these polls that is very, very close, and by close I mean one vote, we know what happened.
Collusion. I will get to the bottom of this, and a full investigation is about to be unleashed.
Lord.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we're just going to start with sports.
Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, by 3 points in a game that wasn't really that close, but was that close, back and forth, huge lead changes, massive swings.
Yeah, do it.
Miami Heat makes it a 1-1 series, picks up a game in Denver, and holds Nikola Jokic in Denver to 4 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely massive game by Miami. Massive fourth quarter. I believe, Jimmy Butler obviously went off in the fourth, but also
Duncan Robinson went off in the fourth for
had
America.
10 points, and they
fourth.
were all in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's what America runs on, Duncan.
Just incredible. So I especially surprised to see you in a Denver Nuggets shirt, Josh.
Don't be. But I will let Ryan take the floor first.
I can't wait to hear all of
Bask in your glory, Ryan. Go ahead.
I would like to read you the Miami Heat's starting five the last time they won in Denver, which was November 30th, 2016.
Wait, can I guess?
Yes.
2016?
November 30th of 2016 was the last time the Miami Heat won in Denver prior to last night.
All right, this is Myers Leonard. Oh, dang it.
All right. At point guard, Goran Dragic. At shooting guard, Rodney McGruder.
Oh, yeah. Kansas
At
alum.
small forward, Luke Babbitt. At power forward, Josh McRoberts.
Kansas.
And then at center, Hassan Whiteside.
So you're saying
that was the last. It's been a long time since the Miami Heat have won in Denver. And by the way, the Nuggets are 0-3 this postseason when Jokic goes off and scores 40-plus points. Miami's role players, who were brutal in game one, especially Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, they showed up in this game. Miami, by the way, for the record, Miami now has 4 wins this postseason when trailing by 8 or more points in the fourth quarter. Every other team in the NBA is 1-41. This is Heat culture personified. Grit.
Dude. Okay,
Grit.
wait. I'm going to stop you. And I just... It bothers me to no end that people attribute Heat culture and I heard no less than 2 talking heads last night at the end of the game. At the end of the game, not during the game, at the end of the game, where they're like, they just don't stop fighting, and it's Heat culture, and you can trace this all back to Pat Riley. And I was like, maybe let's talk about, I don't know, Jimmy Butler. And
who's on a bum ankle, by the way, and still scored 21 and was a facilitator in the fourth quarter.
This team having something to prove coming from the 8 seed, which has nothing to do
playing game
with
technically the 10 seed
with the Heat culture. Got blown out by the Hawks in the play-in game.
Yeah. Again, maybe it's this team and this Miami team, and it actually doesn't have F all to do with Pat Riley. I'm sorry. That I get that everyone is trying to trace the through line and make some sort of connection. Maybe it's just that they made the adjustments they needed to make, that they know that Jokic is going to get his, and they were like, you know what, get your points, but you're not going to get the assists. They got him really frustrated. He had 2 quick fouls back-to-back in the fourth, one of which was obviously a frustration foul. Like he got called for a foul.
A swipe on Bam's head, by the way.
Immediately turned around and was you could tell he was pissed and got himself in trouble with another quick foul. I think that limited him down the stretch. They were also talking about that right there is just an incredible play by Jokic. That's MVP highlight reel, and he walked all the way through the paint. That is the biggest travel I have seen since some clips of LeBron, and that's saying that as somebody that likes LeBron. Dude, he took 18 steps. Come on,
it wasn't 18, but it
was obviously a travel.
It was 3 with a drag step for sure.
A drag.
Couple of things.
I was working.
Is that the new fancy term for Euro step, by the way? A drag step? Go ahead, Bear. Sorry.
No, it is not.
No, I was just saying I was at work, and so I was only watching clips of the game when I would look up, and every time I looked up, the Miami Heat were behind. But I did get to watch a lot of the fourth quarter because we had slowed down and everyone was just focused on the game.
I mean, it was an incredible game, right?
They were up 11, by the way, in the first quarter. They came out really aggressive, and then Denver goes on a 40-14 run.
Yeah, then Denver was
Denver
up 15.
goes on a 40-14 run, and you don't win those types of games, especially in Denver. Now, a couple of things. I want to give you some hashtag analysis.
You'd almost think that was what he led with.
You'd like to think so. No, let him continue his spiel.
Stats. We're here on the podcast that we're listening to talk about the stats.
I'm letting him cook. Let him go.
Let Ryan cook.
Some hashtag analysis, just to give you a little bit. Number one, the narrative: let Jokic go off and cook and limit the assists. Great in terms of thought process.
No, Ryan,
not a realistic.
Muted. Let me tell you something. Ramona Shelburne asked the exact correct question, and Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. I'm so mad right now. Eric Spoelstra dismissed her because that is the game plan. Jokic scoring 40 points means the Nuggets lose every single time. That is the game plan, and he shut her down so that she didn't talk about it and he didn't talk about it. And anything other than that is complete and utter bull crap. And you know this, Ryan. You're unmuted.
Or maybe, I don't know, Duncan Robinson learned how to dribble with his left and get to the rim and scored 9 points in the same minute.
The same Duncan Robinson you wanted off the team 3 games ago. That Duncan Robinson?
Bam Adebayo, by the way, aggressive Bam. Even Mike Malone said, we'll live with Bam taking 20 shots a game. Well, guess what? Bam buried you in the fourth quarter with that little 18-foot jump shot at the free throw line. Look, Miami's dangerous. Miami is dangerous, and everybody does it. They could have won game one. They should have won game one. They should be up 2-0 in this series right now.
You now, and this is supposed to be your moment, man. You're supposed to be making the victory lap. They took one from them in Denver, which they were not supposed to do. They have not only made this a series, which is what everybody always says. It was already a series. They're in the series. They get to go home up a game from Denver that everyone, if you would ask people to bet on it, I guarantee you there was a betting line to take.
It was Denver -8.
Well, but I'm saying to take Denver winning the first two.
Oh, yeah.
At home.
Absolutely.
Ryan doesn't want to talk at all about the first game either, where they got just stomped all over.
They didn't get stomped. Their core shooters literally went 2 for 35 from the field. So they didn't shoot well, which is why they lost by 11. They shot well in this game.
Their team is and has been all
Thank
season.
You. And what have they been all postseason? Because if you look at the sample size of this postseason, they're the best 3-point shooting team in these playoffs.
Ryan,
and they proved it yet again last night.
82 games versus 14 games is not the same thing.
And 3 more victories, and they'll be hoisting the trophy, and you won't care about what the regular season 3-point shooting percentage is.
Okay.
May I have a rebuttal, please?
Yes. I was going to say, we've given you your moment. I honestly am kind of disappointed as your friend because I was hyped for you coming into this podcast, and then I feel like you have just
you upset the basketball karma gods.
You have euphemismed the crap out of this instead of just going
culture. Pat Riley.
That right there. You're Stugatzing the hell out of us. So yes, Josh, please offer rebuttal.
I would like for us to.
I'm going to flex like Duncan Robinson this entire time, by the way, just while you give this.
I would like for us to remember. We're going to take a little metaphor back to 2019. The Kansas City Chiefs played the Tennessee Titans here in Nashville, and the amount of things that had to go wrong for the Chiefs to lose by 3. There was a blocked field goal, a blocked punt, a touchdown that got called back, a Ryan Tannehill rushing touchdown. All of these things had to happen for the Titans to win by 3. We then met them in the AFC Championship, and the Chiefs destroyed them. Here are all the things, Ryan. You look like you have to take a poo right now.
Yeah, you do. You're either doing
sumo squats
with a dumbbell, or you have to poo.
Let me just.
I'm not very good at mean
that
mugging.
Connection to last night. Jimmy Butler not getting called for stepping out of bounds, throwing to a Gabe Vincent 3-pointer. That's 3 points.
He
did.
Well,
and Jokic barreled through a couple of guys. I should have also.
Okay.
Come on.
It's okay. Butler stepping out for a Gabe Vincent 3-pointer. KCP fouling 2 3-pointers at the end of the shot clock for no reason whatsoever.
It's basketball.
A completely whiffed goaltend on a Jamal Murray shot. Completely whiffed.
That was actually a block. That was a block by Bam.
Right, and then an out of bounds on Strus that was called on Jokic. These 4 plays, all of that had to happen for the Miami Heat to win by 3. Also, Jamal Murray still had a chance to tie it up in the end. I am not worried if I'm the Denver Nuggets. You are now unmuted. Did the Miami Heat make some adjustments? Yeah, they started running out of the horns instead of the pistol. The pistol is very easy to defend.
They started Kevin Love.
Okay, how many points did Kevin Love have?
He set the tone in that first quarter, by the way.
By hugging.
He set the tone.
That's the tone that he set.
You know what? Culture.
Vincent, I love you.
Heat culture. We miss open passes. We give our teammates hugs. Yeah. We're not Jokic. We're not robots.
I wouldn't take your victory lap yet, Ryan. I think that there was a lot of things that had to go your way to only win by 3. I do think it was a good strategic move to make Jokic a scorer and not a passer. I suspect the Denver Nuggets take game 3.
Heat in 7.
7. So you think they're going to lose 2 more times no matter what?
Heat in 7. Like I said.
All right, you're just
trying to say it all.
I assume you're
I'm Nuggets. I thought they were going to get swept, to be honest, but
Heat in 6, baby.
No.
I'm sorry.
Let's go. You have more confidence in my team than I do. Thank you.
I do, because this is what I think happens. I think they
Heat culture, Pat Riley, Miami, South Beach. Sorry.
I think they eke out a game 3. I think they win game 4 handily. They go back. Denver picks up the next game, and then is it 1-1-1 at the end?
Yeah, it's 2-2, 1-1-1.
I think they pick up the game in South Beach to close it out. And
so you think Miami wins game 6 at home is what you would say to close it out?
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen at all.
No, I could very easily be wrong. I think I'm calling Heat for the series. I'm not getting a number 6 tattooed somewhere like a crazy Miami fan. No offense to any crazy Miami fans out there. This is your team. You've got excitement for them. I totally understand. I do think this becomes a game of adjustments and goes back and forth with the way that they are handling Jokic versus how the Heat decide to run their offense. I do think it relies heavily on Jimmy Butler having one of those crazy games because he hasn't had one yet.
He's not going to. Not with that ankle.
I'm just
and not
saying,
with Aaron Gordon guarding him because Aaron Gordon is...
Guys, I'm just saying, a lot of that shot fake stuff that he was doing during the season, they took away. Mm-hmm. So now it has to be pure scoring. It has to be him taking over. I believe that he has that gear. I do believe he has that.
I think he has that gear. Absolutely. I don't think that his body will allow him to do that right now.
We'll see.
Here is what I think is going to happen.
Adrenaline does crazy things.
It does, but it also can trash you for the next game. Here's what I think happened. Do we think Tyler Hero comes back for this series? And
yes, he's coming back in game 3.
And if so, whose minutes is he taking?
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love played 10 minutes. That's not enough. Is it?
I know.
Is it?
Well, he's a defensive liability. He's a defensive liability.
Well, all right. Look.
So he's going to probably take the Kyle Lowry minutes because he's going to be able to handle the ball.
Wait. More defensive liability. Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Cody Zeller.
See my problem? They don't have a guy they can sub out that's already a defensive liability that he's going to be any better than.
Kyle Lowry hit 2 massive threes in the third quarter to keep him in that bank.
And I will also say, with you talking about all the things that had to go right for the Heat, a lot of stuff went wrong too. On one of those scrambles off of a missed 3, it got kicked out to Murray, who had no one on him, which why in God's name you would immediately leave a hot-handed Murray out at the same, if you had put a mirror down the center of the court where he was behind the 3-point line, he was in the same spot on the other side of the court. I mean, it's like the same shot mirrored, and he had no one on him, no one near him. You can't do that. That's stupid. That was a total lapse in brain power on the defensive end for the Miami Heat. They managed to pull a win. I think this is what you're forgetting. It is really, 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 really hard to win in Denver. It is really hard to win in Denver. It's hard in the regular season. It is extremely hard in the postseason. They are rested. They were supposed to pick these 2 games up, no problem, and that has not been what's happened so far.
It was still a very close game.
It was, but I'm saying, dude, they are supposed to win those games handily, easily, and it's supposed to be like Miami's nervous going into South Beach. I don't think they are at this point.
I'm really not worried about it. Go ahead, Ryan.
I want to give you one more advanced stat, and this is for the hashtag stat nerds out there. The Heat had 36 points on 19 possessions in the fourth quarter. That is a offensive rating of 189.5 per 100. That would be the most efficient fourth quarter for any team in any game this season.
Okay, well, here's the problem: is now you're making the point against yourself by saying
it's an outlier, not the norm.
Yes. However, they blew an 11-point lead in the first quarter. They're not going to do that at home. I'm telling you, Miami. This is different, Josh. Like Jimmy has been saying all postseason, we're going to get 4. We're going to get 4. We're going to get 4. They're going to get 4.
I saw them blow a lead that badly against the Boston Celtics just last series. So I don't know. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
I know that here's the thing.
That's all I'm saying.
Here is what we can expect in Game 3. Number one.
Actually, Paul Pierce isn't playing in the series, so the truth is nowhere in the middle.
Tyler Hero hasn't played meaningful basketball in 6 months. To insert him into the finals where
He's been out 6 weeks. What are you talking about? He played in the first 2 games of that series against Milwaukee.
he hasn't played. Yeah,
Josh accidentally caught himself in a stat.
I said months. I meant weeks. He hasn't played meaningful basketball, and he hasn't. They have found something without him, and so to reinsert yourself into the NBA Finals, which, if we remember, last NBA Finals that he was a no-show and did not play very well. That was the 2020. You'd like to remember all the finals.
I don't think they do it. I think they dance with the one that brung them. I think they stay with Duncan Robinson. I really do.
I would stay with what you've got. That is one thing that we will see happen. Number 2, I believe that the Denver Nuggets are going to put Jimmy Butler in about as many pick and rolls as you can possibly see and make him work on that ankle all game. Something they didn't do in Game 2. Something that will likely come in Game 3.
But for now,
He gets his moment.
fireball.
It's one game.
It's a.
I was more doing that in Boston. As I'm staring at the skyline.
Again,
Losers.
Both of you. Pause for 1 second. Ryan,
I'm out of breath. I have to pause.
I was all on your side, and I feel like you sort of swayed me back towards Josh. But Josh, you can't say it's not a big deal. They picked up Game 2.
To win in Denver is a big deal. I'm not taking that away, but it's.
I mean, they have to win the series.
They have to. So that's okay.
But that's still. I did not expect it from the first 2 games. It's big. It's big.
I think that it'll be Nuggets in 5.
Well, we spent so much time talking about this that we need to move on. Does anybody have anything they really want to get to? I mean, obviously, sorry, NHL fans, MLB fans, there's a lot going on, but this is really the focal point of our podcast right now when it comes to sports. Let's go to music.
Is Dak Prescott going to live up to that contract extension? That's my question.
Yes, he will.
Music.
Is Kirk Cousins overrated?
You like that? Chart update for everybody. Looking for You is at 22. Right as I rolled in, I jumped off the bus with my bag and my clothes. So if you are watching this on YouTube and I look like I'm a little bit tired, I got sucked in last night. I did the worst possible thing that I could have done. I couldn't sleep. So instead of just laying down like a normal human and trying to go to sleep, I laid down and I tried to sleep, couldn't. So I was like, well, I'll put something on. And who was that? You?
No, it was. I thought that was
Who
you.
was that? That was not me. It was Josh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, what the hell was that noise?
I thought I was the only one I heard that heard that.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Sorry, sidebar. Josh's stomach has a point to make.
Got really riled up from that conversation.
Much like the Denver Nuggets last night. It's upset. We were on the road going home, and I made the rookie mistake of I put on a show that I had not watched and got sucked into it.
What show?
I don't want to say. Just
Yeah,
because it's
you have to
because
say
we may
Vanderpump?
discuss it.
Vanderpump.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Oh.
It wasn't like I.
Dexter's Laboratory.
No, although that would be more in line with my humor.
Right.
Anyway,
Archer.
no, stop. We're going to continue guessing. But I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's like 4 a.m. I have to get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep before I get home.
Yeah.
So rolled straight in. It is CMA Fest week here in Nashville. So obviously I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but do you guys know about CMA Fest Bingo?
No.
Where you try to
We
the
did
things
talk
that
about this, didn't
people
we?
wear.
There's a bingo card that someone makes
Oh,
every
share
year.
this with me, please. Please.
And so all the squares are like random things that you would see. So it's like a tour shirt before 1985, a fanny pack, a T-shirt of one of the artists that are currently performing this year at the stadium, someone wearing a cowboy hat, shorts, and cowboy boots, which, again, Nashville has kind of evolved to where that's every week, but it's sort of a gimme now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a bunch of stuff like that. Anyone holding a fan, like a paper fan that
Like-
has something on it.
Yeah. Someone who looks like but is not Trace Adkins.
Yeah.
Someone who looks like but is not Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
Little ones like that. Someone with an exposed easy belt buckle, like rodeo style.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you basically go through and see who can get bingo first. It's people watching for CMA Fest, basically. But that is definitely going on. A lot of great artists coming through playing. I've got a couple things that I'm doing this week, and just had an incredible 3-day run this weekend. Shout out to the Northeast. You guys brought it big time. Those were some fun shows, and just had a lot of fun. Actually, brought. I don't normally, bring people up to stage or up on stage, but there's this kid who was sitting next to his mom and his dad, and he was singing every word to at the end of a bar. And when I looked over and saw him, his mom started pointing at him, and I was like, "Does he know it?" And she goes, "Yes, yes, yes." So I was like, "Okay." So I brought him over to the side of the stage, brought him up on stage, and I saw him go from like really, really excited to terrified. Like out there in the crowd, he's like, no big deal. I got him up on stage. He turned around and saw everybody. I was like, hey man, you got this. And he was like, oh, you could see that look on his face. Like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I do have this. And ended up getting him to sing with me for one of the choruses, and got really, really cool video of that. So that'll be, I think we're posting that today on TikTok. Went back into the Sunday series that I'd been doing for a while. I'd banked a couple of those from a recent studio visit. So just a lot of music stuff going on for the next couple weeks, for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where can people find you playing this week?
That is a very good question. One of them, I would like to tell everyone, you should definitely, if you aren't already following the Quad on social media, you should be following me everywhere. Chris Young Music is pretty much all of my stuff. And we're going to announce one the day before I play it.
Oh.
So everybody should definitely be keeping an eye out for that. But
Is that closer to the weekend, closer to the week?
definitely closer to the weekend, I would say.
Interesting. Okay.
So definitely keep an eye out for that.
Exciting.
Then one of the performances is at like 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Hey,
get
Josh,
I'll
announced?
be there. I'll be there at 11.
Hey!
11 p.m. So
Okay.
if you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there
Josh,
early-
aren't you playing at the food hall, the Assembly Food
yes,
Hall during
on
CMA Fest?
Saturday at 1 p.m. I'm doing a little writers round, and then gonna get some
Yes, excited for that.
falafel or something. I don't know.
I may wear like a ZZ Top beard and come watch.
Yeah, please do. Who's that old prospector in the crowd?
it. Just like with the pickaxe. Dress up like
I actually
Yukon
think it'd be really
Cornelius.
funny. I think if you just like literally dressed up as like Alan Jackson, then got up and started singing one of your songs, people are like, oh, this guy's actually kind of good, you know?
Right.
Baba Top again. Yeah. Also, in true CMA Fest fashion, it is in the 90s for the first time.
Couldn't have been last week when it's like beautiful
Nope.
out. Nope.
Nope.
It's got to be
Couldn't.
99 degrees.
And
First
and
of all,
at
I
least
don't know what you're talking about. I'm in
110%
Boston.
humidity.
I'm in Boston, and it is literally a record low for June 4th. What it was yesterday. So I don't know what you're talking about right now because it's freezing.
I mean, to be fair, I played last night, and by the time I went on stage, it was in the 60s.
Ooh.
I was just like, what the? What? No,
Everyone's,
it is
the world
June.
is trying to make you sick.
Yeah.
Why?
Weather's weird.
Yeah, we were in Portland, Oregon, so northwest, not northeast. And
Why would you go with the weather's trying to make you sick? Why would you jinx me like that?
why would you put that evil
Why would
on
you
us?
even put that juju out into the world?
Well,
Knock on wood.
the low gets back down in the 50s next week. At night.
That's fine.
Ooh.
That's not
Next
this
week is fine. It's always the week of CMA Fest. It happens every year, like clockwork.
Just trying to cook us from the inside. We played a NASCAR event up at the Portland International Raceway.
Oh, sweet. How was that?
It was really aside from the 5 a.m. load in because you had to get everything in before they did the practice rounds at 7:45. It was great. It felt a lot like Talladega Nights, to be 100% honest. There was a lot of people in the crowd that just a lot of scenes where I was like, wow, this is a thing.
I have been to all of them, and I've actually played the infield at Talladega. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I will also give a shout out. I'm glad you said that to my crew and everybody that works with me and for me. We had a 6 a.m. load in.
Yep.
For a Sunday show, so they were all up loading stuff onto the deck at like 6 a.m. after a show the previous night. So I did not envy everybody having to do that. It was not fun.
You really appreciate that like 2 p.m. nap on those days.
Yeah, I was like trying not to bother anybody in the middle of the day.
On the plus side, our show started at 6 p.m., which was just awesome. We were out of there by like 8:30. It was amazing. I've never been done so early.
I can tell you when that backfires is one of the hottest shows I've ever played was on a speedway in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it was at 5 o'clock, and stuff was melting.
Oh yeah. I bought a clip-on umbrella after this show. I was sitting there and like the sun was cooking me in the morning because it was like
All I can think of is you in an umbrella hat, like the ones that are like.
trust me, I looked at it. Yeah, the sun was coming up like stage left, like over the corner. So like that's right on my side, and it was just cooking me all morning. And I just got on Amazon. I was like, all right, clip on 30-inch. Yep. All right, done.
Kip Moore played before us last night in Maryland, and I remember thinking he like cut the sleeves off of one of the festival shirts and wore that out on stage, and I was like, I bet he's glad he did that because they were in full sun the entire show. Like it did not go down until right before we went on. So that was not ideal, not optimal.
Not ideal. Promoters, please face your stages the correct direction.
I don't think they always have a choice.
They don't, but I wish they did.
Let's do what are you listening to since I cut everybody off last week. Bear, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was sad I didn't get to talk about it last week just because I'm going old school. When it comes to this song, like it reminds me of high school. But Cascada, Every Time We Touch. Yes, let's bring back Cascada.
That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate fist pump.
I won't hit Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah. I will go the exact opposite direction. Drank Like Hank, Brothers Osborne.
Amazing.
Ryan, what do you got?
So I did not know that Luke Combs' Fast Car was a cover of Tracy Chapman's.
Are you serious?
Fast Car.
Mute
I had
him
no
right
idea.
now.
I had no idea. I had no
You're
idea.
getting muted for me now. This is a music
that
thing,
is-
Ryan. You are
Everyone knows that song.
you are way out of line for not knowing that was a Tracy Chapman song. Stop it.
Also, it's one of
Stop
like
it.
the most covered songs
Yes.
of
Ever.
all time.
Yeah.
You're unmuted.
Stop
Anyway,
it. Stop it.
Love
So
for
we're
Tracy
gonna-
Chapman. Fast Car.
Okay.
Thank you for saying Tracy Chapman's version.
Jesus.
Unreal. A favorite from my high school days, Boys Like Girls,
Yeah.
has a new song.
Oh.
First new song in like 15
I
years.
have not heard this. Is it good?
It's incredible. It's called Blood and Sugar, and it is massive sounding. Shout out to my dude Brandon Paddock. Kansas City guy. Grew up with him. He co-produced the song.
It sounds like the follow-up to Meat and Candy by Old Dominion.
Right.
Heck yeah. This next song's called A1C. Everyone get checked. But Blood and Sugar by Boys Like Girls. It's awesome. My dude Brandon Paddock co-produced. I grew up with him. He lives here now.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
All right. Well, guys, make sure you check that out, and let's go to movie. Movies. Why did I say let's go to movie?
let's go to movie.
Let's all go to the movie.
Let's all go to the movie.
Let's
Please, yeah,
all
if you don't
go to the
remember that.
movie.
Let's go to the mall.
I wish someone could have been looking over my shoulder and saw me just type in the movie.
I just Googled the movie.
That is not what I was looking for. I was looking for The Mother, which was also not The Machine, which is what the previous week was. And I copy and pasted the rundown like right as I got off stage, and I was a little too quick on the draw for myself.
All good.
The Mother, rated R, 2023 mystery adventure, which is, I don't know that I would
I
have called
wouldn't
this
call
a
it a
mystery,
mystery adventure.
but hour and 55 minutes. It was on Netflix. Quick go round. Did you like this movie? Yes or no?
I did.
I did.
Didn't watch it.
Ryan?
I liked it.
Did you see it?
Did
though?
you watch it?
If I would have watched it, I would have really liked it.
Yeah, I saw the look on his face. You betrayed yourself.
You had no follow up to that, which you always do.
Dude,
so.
all you would have had to done to sell that is not
Make that face.
make the face that you made when you.
Or
Hey,
with
but Ben
Leslie
Affleck and
Museum.
Jennifer Lopez apparently were in a little bit of a spat at the premiere of The Mother. That's the drama I want to talk about.
Whatever.
Of course you do.
That was probably leaked just to get people to watch the dang movie.
Well, because he had a movie release at the same time.
Yeah. 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, but 78% of Google users like this movie. While fleeing from dangerous assailants, an assassin comes out of hiding to protect her daughter she left earlier in life. I thought two things with this movie. It felt like, one, it was exactly what it was supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be click on it on Netflix, action film, done. I don't even know what the budget was for this. They don't really list that for Netflix, nor do they list like
They only list it.
viewership or
They only list it, any of those stats, if they're trying to like compete against big market
against
stuff.
something else.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was well done. It was well shot.
J-Lo did great.
I thought it was a little overlong.
They did drag out a couple parts that probably didn't need to be dragged out, but I really liked the storyline behind it because it gets pretty far into the movie before you actually know what happened. It started out really strong, and then it set more of the storyline in the base of like what she has, the whole point is.
I guess that was the thing for me that kind of threw me off. The only thing was the pacing seemed like it was part one, part two, part three.
But not in a seamless way.
Right. It felt like accidentally there's an incident where one of the characters that you kind of grow attached to
Yeah.
gets killed off.
I was so mad. That
And
did
I
make
thought
me mad.
I thought that was yeah. I didn't really give anything away.
You didn't, but
You just want to hit the button.
I did.
That's like part one, and then part two is like
her with the daughter, basically.
Rocky training montage.
Yeah.
And then there's part three at the end. It was good. It was good.
And again, I thought J-Lo did great. She, when it comes to action, not all women can do that very well. And I'm not ragging on women because obviously I know a lot of stunt doubles do it too, but you have to be able to portray it and you're acting, and she did a really good job with that, especially because it's not something that you'd typically look at J-Lo as she's more of like a comedy romance kind of movie gal.
It was believable.
Yeah, it was believable.
Yeah.
So it was good to see her in a role like this, and I really liked it.
Well, if you haven't watched it and you get a chance to watch it, I would say it's worth a watch. if that's your type of movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a good Netflix. And
I like the lead sentence on this.
Where are you
review.
going with that, Bear?
it's good Netflix and chill watch. Like actually Netflix
What are
and
you
chill.
talking about?
Lord.
I like the lead sentence on this one article. Having played an iconic stripper in Hustlers and love-struck pop star in Marry Me, J-Lo is back, and this time she is angry.
Wow.
I did like her in Hustlers, so good.
Okay.
Wait, she was in Jack?
Yeah,
Am I forgetting that movie?
I think so.
What an interesting IMDb for her.
We could do the Spidey universe.
We could, or what else comes out this week?
Nothing. Oh, the Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
I'll take Spider-Man over that.
Yeah, I never was a Transformers gal.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I was excited about that. I thought I would be bringing everybody else down.
No.
I really wanted to watch it. I almost watched it this weekend.
Yeah.
I do get to preview The Flash tonight, so I'll be a week ahead of you guys.
Wow.
I can't tell if that one's going to be good or not.
I think it. So supposedly it's really good.
I only want to see it because of Keaton.
Yeah, same.
Supposedly it actually turned out really good, and I'm really excited that I get to see it tonight. So I will let y'all know.
By the way,
oh, God.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course it does. The first one was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Dear movie studio executives, Netflix, you can please hire me for your ideas, but after seeing the clip of Michael Keaton as Batman, I would love a whole genre of movies of like the old, like Keaton as Batman having to come out of retirement one last time. I would love to see, we get it a little bit with Indiana Jones right now. I would have loved to see like an old, like Bond, like old Bond have to come out, you know?
Old Bond. Old Bond, sponsored by Gold Bond.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the biggest thing with those is a lot of these actors don't ever want to reprise that role.
I know, but you
Well,
know.
I think the only reason that Keaton's doing it is because he gets to be cool.
Right, absolutely. And he's sort of in the comic book universe anyway as the Vulture in the...
Yeah, I mean, you had, and granted, this is like in the same timeline, but you got Old Man Logan.
This is what I'm saying. I really like this as a genre of just like the really old version of a character that I really loved. If you told me Mark Hamill did an old Luke Skywalker,
But he said he's done.
I know this.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to happen. I just would love it. This is something that like,
Well, I think they missed a massive window to let Mark Hamill play Luke again before the newer movies.
absolutely.
But I hear what you're saying. I just wonder. I wonder what it would transition to, work for other than just superhero films.
Well, I think James Bond would be a good one, right? If it was old Sean Connery, old Pierce Brosnan, like one last trip, one last whatever, you know?
Pierce Brosnan would be a good one.
They would.
Bring back Captain America, Chris Evans.
Old
Bring him
Captain
back.
America. He looked great old. Did he?
He actually did.
You know what I mean? I would enjoy it. I might be on the minority side of this, but
I always thought they were going to do one where it was Tony Stark battling depression and operating his suit remotely and like do a real deep dive into like AI and all that stuff. Because they do that in the comics at one point.
yeah, I'd be here for it. Although I think, if he was too depressed and drinking, it'd be way too close to like earlier
too
life
close to
of-
home. Yeah.
for RDJ. So I don't want to like
Yeah.
unlock those demons either.
That's fair. Okay. Well, that's the movie for this week. And let's do the hot take.
Hot take!
So this is very interesting as I went down the rabbit hole.
There's a lot of bad comedies.
There are a lot of bad comedies, and I'm not talking about like pick random B movie. I'm saying things that were made to make money that were comedies. What is the worst one that you've ever seen? And I'm a little bit towing the line with my pick here, but the only movie I've ever stood up, paid for a ticket, gone into the theater, stood up and walked out of, and I have quoted lines from this movie. Scary Movie. It was, and it
And for those of you that haven't seen it, it's playing on the Scary Movie tropes, but it is a comedy.
right. And it was really popular at the time for teenagers.
Correct.
And I was a teenager at the time that this came out.
It was poking fun at Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and all of that genre.
I hated it. I could not stand to watch it all the way through.
Was it the cheese factor? Or?
It was everything about it. I hated that movie. Hated that movie.
Wasn't Chris Evans in that? Or is that not another teen movie? That's the other one.
Yeah,
that's the other one.
Yeah, that's it for me. That stands out in my mind of the only movie I think I've ever paid for a ticket for and got up and left. So that's the one I have to go with.
That's a good one.
I actually liked Scream, so.
Scream was great.
No, I didn't
I'm sorry.
say Scream.
Scary Movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Along those lines, I did not buy a ticket to see this movie, but I've tried to force myself to watch it multiple times, and I get not 20 minutes in and just immediately shut it off. I do not know why people thought it was funny at all. It has not aged very well either. White Chicks.
I think you're wrong here.
Oh
Sabrina
my
Ionescu would
gosh.
disagree.
That's fine.
I love White Chicks.
I hate that movie.
For those of y'all that don't know, Sabrina Ionescu was on the podcast, and that was one of her favorite movies. So
I love her as a competitor and player, but I do not like that movie.
Man.
I think that movie sucks.
Okay.
Wow. Could not be made in 2023 either. For the record.
No.
Well, we first of all,
Like I said, it is
if
aged
we were doing
poorly.
that, if we were going off that, there's a lot of things I would.
There's a lot of movies that would get canceled or not made.
I'll see your White Chicks and raise you Blazing Saddles. Like
I'll see your Blazing Saddles and raise you Tropic Thunder. I will.
Yeah, exactly.
I will raise you What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I would see your Tropic Thunder and raise you Blazing Saddles. That
one would definitely not.
Yeah.
Comedy was different back then.
Bear, do you have a pick?
There's a few that I could go with, especially because a lot of the.
But we're saying worst of all time. Just snap call in your head of the ones that you have right now.
Son of the Mask.
It was bad.
Oh yeah, it was bad. That was bad.
The Mask?
I'll give you it's Son of the Mask.
Son of the Mask.
Oh, I
It
thought
was
you
like
said The Mask
the
with Jim
second
Carrey. I was
one.
like, that was good.
No, the Mask was
no.
fantastic, and then you went to Son of the Mask, and it was like, what
no
just
one
happened?
can no one can play that part but Jim Carrey. That's a huge mistake to even try to make it. I get it. They were just trying to cannibalize some money off of the property, but
Nope, don't do it. That was horrible.
can't do that. Ryan.
I thought this movie was overhyped and not really funny at all. And it's a shame I have to do this to Rob Schneider because I do really like Rob Schneider at times.
Gigolo.
But Deuce Bigelow was just not
European
not
Gigolo.
The first one or
European
the second
Gigolo.
one?
The
The
Deuce
second one.
Bigelow European Gigolo was just not it. And no,
Okay.
didn't like it.
I almost picked
Didn't
the
find it
other
funny.
Missy, too. That movie sucked.
No. I can think of worse movies.
I feel like
than
that's kind of good. That's kind of good. Yeah.
All right, guys, those are your 4 picks. Please enjoy your CMA Fest if you're here in Nashville. If you see one of us, say hey. We'll say hey back. Thank you, as always, for listening to The Quad with Chris Young. From me, Ryan, Haley, and Josh. Love you guys to death. Keep getting the word out about the podcast, and we'll see you next week. And we're out.